Hi, my name is Valeria Gonzalez Sena, and I want to talk about today about my reflection on humanism and its importance in the 21st century education. Well, I decided to become a teacher because I have always liked languages, communication, and helping other people learn. I think teaching is more than just explaining or sharing information. Teachers can also motivate students, support them emotionally, and help them feel more confident with themselves. But first, I want to introduce myself a little. I am currently studying applied linguistics for English teaching and translation, and I consider myself a creative, patient, and empathetic person. One of my biggest emotional strengths is empathy because I usually try to understand how other people feel, and I think this is important for teaching because students need to feel understood and supported in the classroom. And well, my teachers have influenced me a lot. Some of them have inspired me because they were kind, patient, passionate about teaching. They made students feel more comfortable participating in class and expressing their opinions without feeling embarrassed. And I also had teachers who were really strict or distant, and those experiences helped me realize what kind of teacher I do not want to become. And I don't want my future students to be afraid of asking questions or making mistakes or just like being themselves. Because of these experiences, I realized that teachers can really impact students emotionally and academically. That is why I want to become a teacher who creates a positive and respectful classroom environment. And well, I can do that because I think I have several skills that can help me as a future teacher. One of them is communication. Since I study languages, I have learned how important conversation and communication is when explaining ideas or interacting with students. Another important skill is creativity. I like thinking of fun, dynamic activities so students can learn in a more natural and interesting way. For example, I think students learn better when classes include conversations, games, discussions, music, or topics related to real life. Sometimes traditional classes can feel repetitive, so I would like my classes to be more engaging. I also think I am organized and patient. Being organized helps teachers create a better learning environment, and patience is important because every student learns different at their own pace. Sometimes students need more time or different explanations to understand something, and teachers need to support them instead of making them feel bad. And finally, I believe teamwork and leadership are also important skills because teachers work with students, parents, and other teachers to support students' learning and development. And I think leadership is important because teachers guide students not only academically but also emotionally. Many students need encouragement and motivation, and teachers can help them believe in themselves. So, yes. And well, the teaching area that interests me the most in English language, is English language teaching because I really enjoy languages and communication. I think English is a very important language nowadays because it can give a student more academic, professional, and personal opportunities. The education level I would like to work with is, well, first I would like to start with kindergarten students, and maybe I can scale up to middle school because I think teachers can influence students all these ages because teenagers are developing their confidence and communication skills. But I would love to work with kindergarten because it's more creative, it's more me. I feel more connected to kids. I am very patient and I am very funny, so I think I would be like their their clown teacher, but at the same time I would be teaching them. So I also feel like I would connect well, and I also think I could connect well with teenagers because I understand how important it is to feel respected and understood during that stage of life, which could be a little, you can call it like a crisis. But yes, I like this teaching area because English classes can be creative, interactive, and connected to real life situations. And I would like my future students to see English as something useful and not just as another school subject. And I want them to feel more confident speaking English and expressing themselves without the fear of making mistakes. And I would like to work in both public and private schools at different moments of my career, but I especially feel interested in public education. I think teachers in public schools can make a big difference because not all students have the same opportunities or resources. And I would like to create a classroom where students feel included, respected, and motivated regardless of their background. And I believe education can change people's lives, especially when students have teachers who support them and encourage them to continue learning and growing. And at the same time, I think private schools can offer good opportunities, technology, and resources for language learning. But no matter the sector, I would like to help students feel more confident and supported during their learning process. And well, for me, humanism in education means understanding that students are people with emotions, experiences, and different needs. I think empathy and respect are very important in the classroom because the students learn better when they feel comfortable and supported. Humanism also helps improve learning because students feel more connected to their teacher and more motivated to participate in class. I believe teachers should not only focus on grades or academic performance, but also on students' actual emotional well being and personal growth. Because nowadays, students deal with stress, anxiety, insecurities, or maybe personal problems outside of school, maybe at home. So, having an empathetic teacher that can make students feel more comfortable and supported, I would like to be that type of teacher. Positive teacher student relationship can help students feel safer, more confident, and more interested in learning. I also think humanism is important because every student learns different. Some students are more shy, others are more outgoing, and some may struggle more academically or emotionally. And because of this, teachers should try to understand students instead of treating everyone exactly the same way. And in the 21st century, education should not only prepare students academically, but also emotionally and socially. Teachers should help students become more confident, empathetic, and more open minded people. And well, my conclusion is that becoming a teacher is important to me because I enjoy helping others um, and communicating and working with languages. I believe my qualities such as empathy, patience, and creativity will help me become a good teacher in the future. I would love to become the kind of teacher who supports students, motivates them, and creates a positive classroom environment. And finally, I believe humanism will always guide my teaching because education should just not focus on academic success, but it also needs um, the students to feel understood and supported as people. I hope in the future that my students can see me as a teacher who listened to them, respected them, and helped them feel a little more confident in themselves, in their abilities. So thank you for listening, and that is it.